Hello and welcome to the phone call. This is a place where we engage leaders and change makers on the issues that matter. So today we are honored to have George Ouma Ojiambo, a young man who is as well an aspirant to the Member of Parliament seat. So, how are you doing, George?
I'm doing fine, Brandon.
Can you introduce yourself to our listeners and audience?
Thank you. My name is George Ojiambo Ouma, and I'm running for Member of Parliament of the Republic of Kenya for the people of Funyula constituency. I'm running because we are at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced the Kenyan spirit and future. One, unemployment, of course, corruption, lack of political goodwill. And that's why I'm here.
So those are the things that inspired you. Is that the main reason? Is that what inspired you to be able to run for the seat of Member of Parliament?
Absolutely. The problems and the struggles of my people, as one who has been educated in this system and grown up and witnessed the struggles and the problems of my people, it is the common sharing of the common problems that is pushing me towards public service.
But don't you think you've started it too far? Maybe you could have started it as a member of county assembly, and be able to,
Well, that's a good argument. But public service, it doesn't matter where you started from. What matters most is your elasticity and your capability and your thought and your consciousness to think whether you can do it. As well, I might have thought of being the president, provided I'm in a position to offer my public service to the people of Kenya.
Okay. So let me ask, in the constituency that you're running as a Member of Parliament, what are the top 3 challenges that you feel you will address?
Number one challenge as a Member of Parliament, number one challenge in my constituency is a lack of proper infrastructure, poorly developed infrastructure. And as a Member of Parliament, the last time I checked the budget of my Member of Parliament or in the NGCDF fund is figures close to 150 million.
Okay.
Of 150 million, we are having roads that are called constituency roads that are up to 100 kilometers. Yet, of the 100 kilometers, less than 15% have been tarmacked. My constituency is among the most fertile, if not the most, among the most fertile constituencies that receives rainfall twice a year. That's among the most productive constituencies. That's to say, by any chance, we are not supposed to be ranked in statistics as those people who have 66% of poverty rate. What is lacking is political goodwill to be able to leverage our natural resources to turn them into meaningful economic driving aspects. So my number one thing is to open up my constituency by ensuring that there is sufficient flow of goods, and that flow can be done through proper construction of constituency roads using the NGCDF fund. And secondly, my constituency also scores so low when it comes to children attending school. We are among the highest. We are among the constituency that we have the highest rates of school dropouts.
Okay.
Yet in the constituency, we are having a bursary fund in the NGCDF fund, close to 40 million, that's supposed to go to the needy students, so that we'll be able to curb the dropout, the dropping out aspect. So those are the 2 most fundamental things that I'm grounded to make sure that they are solved.
Okay, but ask for 3.
The third one is, of course, the aspect of my constituency is an agricultural constituency. The main economic driver is agriculture. Yet my constituency, it is in my constituency that the factory of cotton planting, of cotton processing that failed. That factory has been closed for the last 5 years. We can as well revamp this factory to make sure that we open up the economic livelihood of that constituency. Those are my 3 priorities.
But I have a question. When you say, when I've listened to the 3 major challenges that you aim to address in your constituency, I believe that there are former MPs or those MPs who have been here. They always have these same challenges that they want to address. What difference do you think you're going to make that the other MPs have not or have not been able to do, yet they have all the resources? Are you going to be different from them, or are you going to join them? Is it just a proposal? Tell us, George.
They might have had the funds and everything as you've mentioned, but what lacks, and what I still insist that lacks in most of the politicians in this nation, and it's the main reason as to why I'm antithetical to the current government, is because there's a lack of political goodwill. Of all the things, well, we might have a very flowery manifesto and vision for the constituency, for your constituents in that matter, but once there's a lack of proper, good political goodwill, nothing can happen. My current member of parliament, by 2027, will have served for 10 years. I'm just asking a simple question. Just going by the average funds that he receives, at least figures of 150 million. That's to say, by the end of 10 years, he's supposed to have in his disposal, or what he would have dispensed or expended, to be 1.5 billion. So I'm just asking, can you pinpoint the infrastructure or the development that amounts to 1.5 million? If you cannot, then that's to say you lack political goodwill that will have made it necessary for you to transform your constituency. And that's the source of my problem. And that's the source where I'm coming in to help.
Do you think that people will trust you? Being a young man, do you think that people will trust you?
Well, that's one of the reasons as to why I'm very much delighted to engage in this conversation. It's a critical conversation now, but we are at a very critical moment where we're going to turn into another festival of democracy. I've considered an election as a festival of democracy, amongst the best playgrounds where democracy is experienced at its best. And I consider this conversation is necessary because we are at that turning point. Well, the young people in this coming election are not only going to fight the bad leadership, lack of political goodwill, and corruption in government. There's also a small percentage of young people who will be actively participating in this election as aspirants, I being among them, that will be forced to fight the fight of political, or of what I call the status quo of politics. There's this consistency in either the voter or politicians that young people are not, or in such a way they are crippled, or is meaning the word, or are crippled just to enter into the political space. And that's one of the things that I know that I'm going to face, the fighting of political status quo, and I'm prepared to face it. Yeah, people are desperate. People are desperate with these political leaders. And what people need is not my age. What people need my ability to articulate their problems and to show them an architect or a way of how to solve those problems. Well, I know that age is going to be a matter in this election, but if it's a force that I have to conform with, I'm going to face it there first.
So now, because for me, I'm not yet satisfied with the answer given in regards to whether the people will trust you enough, because we have seen young, even people like Babu, people like Sifuna. It's just now that they are emerging to, that people are yet to trust and have hope in them. You have never run in any seat. You have never been seen in any political activities in the country. Now I'm worried do you think the people think you have what it takes to make their lives better in your constituency?
The question in the bracket is what you finished with. Do the people really think that I have what it takes to transform their constituency? And that's the question in the voter's mind. The voter's mind is no longer concerned about where George has been. The voter's mind is concerned where George will take us to.
And do you think...
I don't stop to think that I'll have a problem with the people with acceptance by the people, provided I'll articulate their issue. And however, just like I've said, what I'm prepared to fight is to fight the status quo of the conduct of politics in our nation. The status quo says a young man has no vision, or they tend to generalize, where maybe what they call the ageism, where when you're young, you're considered inexperienced and incapacitated to engage in public service. And that's a demon that I'm ready to confront.
Now, having the status quo like that, do you think you have enough muscles to fight this? Because this is something that has been there for years, for decades. Do you think you have enough strength, enough muscle to be able to bring change? Do you think you have what it takes as an individual, as an aspirant?
I have the guts, I have the temerity, I have the audacity, I have the strength, I have the will, I have the vision, I have the love for the people, and I'm prepared to walk this path down to the aisle. Come rain, come sunshine.
Okay. So you mentioned that in your constituency there have been issues of accountability and transparency. How will you ensure that you have brought transparency and accountability in the use of public resources in your constituency?
The last time I opened the auditor general report of my constituency, Funula constituency, the auditor general report has a lot of problems with my constituency. Number one, the spending in my constituency is not clear. So one of the things that you have to effect to make sure that you are at peace with the public and so that you are accountable with the use of their public funds is to make sure that you submit your public spending record to the auditor report, to the auditor general for auditing. That's one. Secondly, to be accountable is to also make sure that there are those tenders that are given that are doubtful. As an engineer, I know very well that a pit latrine cannot cost a figure close to $1 million or even $500,000. So there are simple things that don't need a lot of math, or they don't need rocket science to be understood. Simple transparency. First, open up your book to be read by the Auditor General's office. Secondly, be as transparent in your project and your issuing of contracts.
Very well.
As possible.
Very well. And what practical measures will you put in place to create opportunities for young people?
Well, as a young person, and one of the driving factors that is taking me to public service is my passion for the young people. Because as a young person, I'm also tremored by the fact that I have to live in the future that this nation is creating. So by all chance necessary, my aim is to make sure that our future is secured. And the future does not belong to the future itself. The future belongs to the people. And the people that the future belongs in its most percentage are the young people. And of course, there can be no public service if there's an exclusion of the young people. So to answer your question, young people in my constituency, running amongst the smallest funds in the national cake, of course, of figures less than 200 million, we are going to ensure that, number one, we support their talents through supporting their sporting activities. And then secondly, to make sure that even the tendering, giving out the contract, the young people are considered. are given priority.
Okay. So as a young member of parliament aspirant, what challenges do you face every day as a young member of parliament aspirant?
Thank you. As a young aspirant, and I know this is a general question that every other person will answer it, but of what I want to give is the challenges that are faced by almost every young person. Yeah. So to go down, we've mentioned the aspect of age. I call it the ageism factor. There's this perceptual categorization by the people, by the masses, where they consider young people as inexperienced, unsure, overambitious, and such. But I just want to remind you, let's go down the history lane a little bit. At the age of 28, Joseph became the governor of Egypt. Okay. At the age of less than 30, Daniel became lived in the kingdom or was so close to power. At the age of 33, Jesus had completed all his earthly activities. At the age of 20, Alexander the Great was the king of Macedon. At the age of 33, Thomas Sankara had already become president. You can mention, history has flashed us with a lot of examples that the young people have participated and changed their society. And for those people that consider age as a factor as a minimum requirement, and I think that they have to go down the history lane. Any society that is up to transformation, the stewardship of that society is given to the young people. Because as a young person, I'm also tremored by the future that I can risk losing if I play around. Secondly, there's the aspect of funding and money, of course. Politics, just by its nature, especially in the African context, is that of which is so intense in spending. Money, of course, I'm not speaking that as so much as to wash down the part that money plays in politics, but rather I'm also saying that in more intense, in more extreme aspects, where money has been used so overboard, and where the aspect of tokenism, what we call the tyranny of the wallet, where the one who has the heaviest wallet ought to have taken the day, whether he has the vision of the people or not. Well, in politics, of course, you need money. You will need money, but that money should be that of mobility and logistics. But of course, as a young person, we also struggle with that a lot. Secondly, comes now what I've mentioned of the tyranny of the wallet, where what have been so much against the tokenism or the commercialization of politics, where some small tokens are given to people so that they make their decision on who to elect. My third problem that I think that also need to be addressed, this one is directed to the registrar of political parties. It's called zoning in our political parties. I've been against zoning for eons now, Brandon, and this is what I have to say about zoning. Zoning, this is how it excludes the young people. What zoning does, zoning auctions the ticket, the political party's ticket, the candidate's ticket, where the highest bidder is given the ticket. And always the highest bidder are the people with the greatest and the heaviest wallet. And as a young person, of course, you know that we might not be advantaged to have the heaviest wallet. So one aspect that is most challenging to we young aspirants is, of course, the aspect of zoning in our political parties. It is zoning in ODM that barricaded Peter Salasia out of candidacy, that he ran down to another party. It is zoning that made Sifuna not to be member of parliament in his own constituency, a person we are considering a presidential candidate. It is zoning that has excluded a lot of vision and turned down a lot of passion and goodwill of those people who would have transformed this nation. So I consider zoning, in fact, as amongst the cancers in our political culture that the registration of political party should have to review. Secondly, there's the issue of ignorance. Now, this one lies squarely by the young aspirants themselves. You know, of all the places or of all the workplaces to learn in training or in session, none of them is in public service. If you want to learn in training, please go look for technical expertise, but not in public service. In public service, you should not be as so ignorant as to be disjointed to the problems and the struggles of your people. So this, I'm saying this as an aspirant because I know that we are having aspirants who are aspiring to be member of parliament, yet they don't even know the top three struggles of their constituencies. Yet they don't know even to table a bill. Yet they don't know even the whatever, like the contemporaries of their societies. And I consider those among the biggest challenges that the young people are facing.
You have mentioned on the issue of finances and funding. And we saw an incident where the presidential candidate, Sifuna, and were contributing money so that they go to, run their campaigns and all that. So, George, I don't know for your case, where do you have the finances? Do you have the funding? Are you an independent candidate? Do you have a political party that is supporting you? Tell us, what are you planning to do? Because the issue of finances will always be there, and not unless the people trust you enough to help you, or rather you have a strong political party that is going to help you run your campaigns and all that. I don't think you will be able to get where you want to be, and I don't think people will trust you enough because you are not yet. I don't think you are too much familiar to the face of the public for them to start contributing to you as a young man, like people like Sifuna and such. So tell us, where are you planning to get funding from political party, or do you have the funds already? Tell us.
Of all the reasons while deciding to enter public service, none of them is to ask whether you have money or not.
But it's important. But George, it is important. It is crucial for you to have finances to run your campaigns, because I don't know how you're planning to do your campaigns without money.
Important, but it's not central. It's not primary. Of all the reasons as to dictate as to whether one person will be a good public servant, none of them is to look at how much money he used in his campaign. As a matter of fact, the amount of money they used in their campaigns sometimes make them get compromised and therefore stifle their delivery of services to the public. So one of the things that I should ask myself in the first place as an aspirant or as someone who wants to serve the community is to whether I'm sufficiently gutted, visioned, and good-willed enough to drive the change I want to see. Whatever will come after that, let it be. Let it come. Secondly, once you've selected your vision and what you want to do for your people, what follows is that you look for the people that share the similar vision as you. And that's where the question of political parties come in. And recently I've been unequivocal in saying that I'll be buying in Safina party ticket. And my party leader will be Jimmy Wanjigi. I've been unequivocal. One, because I'm very much entrenched into public finance and the management of the economy. And that's one underlying factor that Jimmy Wanjigi has been unequivocal in. So I'm no longer concerned, I'm less concerned rather, that I have no funding, but I'm very much seated properly, knowing that I have a vision that I need to drive my society to where I'm seeing it be.
Thank you very much, George. I would like to give you a chance as we finish. You say one word to the people of your constituency, and as well one word to young aspirants like you.
For the people of my constituency, I say that there has never been a time in history where we are faced with the greatest war that we need to fight collectively. This is a necessary war that we need to engage in as community members. And because it's a war, I'm asking that we engage it with my stewardship. There has never been a time where there was a necessary war that was worth fighting like this one. If we don't fight this war, history will record us with the greatest astonishment that those people who had the most to lose did the least to prevent it from happening. It is the greatest time that we face this war hot-headed and head-on, and to make sure that we drive it down. And to my fellow young aspirants, you just need that fire in the chest, and a good brain in the head, and a good-willed soul, and your society will be transformed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, George, for your time and as well for sharing your vision with us. We would like to wish you all the best and thank you for your great time. This was the phone call by McKenna Brandon. Until next time, goodbye.